Welcome back to Stamford Bridge, where the serene progress of the champions continues. That's 5 wins and a draw in the last 6 now. And even though they took the lead, Newcastle didn't eventually put up much of a contest here today. Let us know your thoughts via phone calls and via tweets and via, well, any other means. Pigeon, whatever you want to do. 3-1, could have been more. Jason and Clive are here, and we're going to be joined in the dugout for more post-match reaction from inside there soon. What do you think, Clive? Comfortable, even though...
I think there was a fear at the beginning, wasn't there? I mean, Newcastle came out of the block, started very, very well, got their goal, obviously, and then we were suddenly asked a question of, and I think the reaction from us was brilliant. You know, nothing more than absolutely terrific. And then once we got back on level terms, I didn't think there was ever going to be anybody else to win the game. I thought we were terrific from there onwards.
Fabregas, Hazard, Morata, Moses, Drinkwater, loads of individuals. They looked like they were enjoying themselves. It was confident. They were expressing themselves. You know what I mean? That footballers really being able to play football. Rafa couldn't actually contain them, could he?
No, and Clive made the point. I think we're all in agreement that actually it was a slow start from us and a sharp start from them. They took the lead. But I felt that the reaction after the goal was really good from us. We didn't let that affect our dodgy start or sloppy start to the game, and we actually got better and better as the game went on. And my concern was that it might be one of those games, you know, we saw Christensen hit the cross, hit the post, Hazard missed a chance to make it 1-1, but once we got the equaliser, there was only one team controlling the tempo of this game, and there were 1 or 2 flashes from them, but generally we really controlled the game. Individual performances, in particular from Eden Hazard, outstanding. I felt Moses on that right-hand side threatened all game. He warmed up as the game went on and got better and better. You know, we had a direct influence on 2 of our goals. Drinkwater in the middle of the park, looks assured in there, making those runs from deep. Fabregas, again, passing-wise, was excellent after the first 15 minutes. A good performance. It wasn't spectacular, but it was more than enough to go on and win this game, and we actually looked quite comfortable after the equaliser.
So for now, Chelsea level on points with Manchester United. Remember, they play Arsenal in the late game. We'll keep you posted on what happens in the 3 o'clockers in between Liverpool and Tottenham amongst those in action there. But come on Arsenal, which you don't say very often around these parts.
I suppose so, right?
I think it's come on Arsenal. Is it come on Arsenal?
I think
so. Or do we want Man U to beat Arsenal,
no,
keep them out of the way?
No.
We're looking up, not down.
Let's think bigger.
Yeah,
we're looking
let's
up.
Go for Arsenal.
We're looking up.
Let's think bigger.
And let's talk about Victor Moses then. So he came back in for his first start. Clive, he had a go off the bench midweek, and he did have a hand in those 2 goals. Right at the end, there was a bit where he almost conceded a goal, but generally speaking, I thought he was excellent.
I thought he was terrific. Like Jason said, he got better and better. And I know we talked about it in midweek when he had that 10-minute slot during the week.
And he looked rusty.
And we all said, that will do him a world of good. And it proved a point. You know, I thought he was absolutely terrific. But I felt also he had a slow start. And he got better and better and stronger and stronger. And also confidence-wise, I think that was a big thing for him. You know, stepping back into it after a long injury. You know, I thought he was absolutely terrific.
You can only imagine how he might have felt after the first 15 minutes being 1-0 down and hadn't made the best start, and we as a team didn't.
Yeah, and he had to pick himself back up again. You know, that's a personal thing. Sometimes, you get your mates around you, they rally you, they say, come on, you can do better. But I felt that was a personal thing for him, and he dug in deep. We often say, you know, it comes from the heart. You know, you've got to really put it in. And he did it really well.
And also, for the first time, really, his position is under threat. He's seen Zappacosta come in since that injury. And Zappacosta has done very well. I think, of the 2, right now, I think Moses is the best wing-back on that position we have.
Agreed. I said we'd keep you posted on the 3 o'clockers. Wilfred Bonny, who couldn't score here, has already scored for Swansea against Stoke. That's him scoring against his previous club, and his only Stoke goals had come against his previous club, which was Swansea. Work that one out. So that's a goal in the 3 o'clockers there. Right, let's keep the midfield chat going on now with Danny Drinkwater. I thought he was excellent, and we're seeing a threat to Bakayoko here, even in this shape where there's 3. I mean, you said at the beginning, I like this one even more because it's got a better blend. And
it's got a blend of
nothing
everything.
that happened in that game would make you change your mind on that, would it?
I think we have to be honest. Bakayoko has struggled to adapt to life in the Premier League.
There's been brilliant things and there's been awful things.
Well,
there's
the brilliant
not a lot in
things come
between.
from him as the physicality that he's got. We know that he's a strong boy. We know that once the grass opens up in front of him, he can carry that ball. And I think there have been a number of performances that have been good. Spurs away, Man United here. But overall performance, Danny Drinkwater ticks more boxes for me right now than him. Ball retention. He's defensively, I think he understands the Premier League a little bit better. Bakayoko can be drawn into challenges and make silly fouls, which in this league, in any league in actual fact, you do that on a regular basis, you're going to present opportunities.
I think that as well, Jason, is I think we're talking about basics as well with Bakayoko. Some of the basics that have gone wrong for him. In some ways,
5-10-yard passes,
alarmingly basics. Yeah, the short passes. You know, the ability to do what he does at times is absolutely terrific. I think what it is with Bakayoko is, you're right, it's Danny Drinkwater probably knows this league a lot better at the moment, and you tend to feel there's going to be time for Bakayoko. But it's one of those. Now Danny Drinkwater's fit, you know, and he performs like he did today. You know, he's got the seat at the moment, but I think Bakayoko can get better.
He's young, isn't he? And that's...
Because he'll learn. I think he'll learn the league.
He's the future.
Yeah.
And also, he's probably not used to having a lot of competition, you know. He came in at Monaco and they were excellent and there were a lot of players around him. Now, all of a sudden, he's not... Like I said at the start of the game, I think our best 11 in this formation is the one that we saw today.
I thought there was something about Drinkwater today that looked like he thought, I belong in this midfield. He timed his runs well. He was quite composed in the middle of the park. It was very good. Johnny Cooper's on the line. Hi, Johnny.
Good afternoon, lads.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, lovely way to spend the afternoon, I think. I think the most important factor that I was impressed with, the talented play of the two Leicester boys. To me, those two allow Fabregas, I think he's a perfect player. I think he's getting older, but he's now better than I've ever seen him for the whole season. That actual midfield works for me. The balance of the side, I think you're totally right, lads. I think we've missed Moses, and what a game he had. I think, you know, basically a wake-up call. I think Alonso was a bit dicey to start with, but however, I still go to work on we're working towards the future. I genuinely believe now we've got that's the first time all season with our full squad, everything on the bench as well. And I look at that and I say to myself, we're doing it quietly, you know. 7 points out of the last 3 games can't be bad, you know. And we've got games to come there, and I think the way that Antonio manages that squad is unbelievable. And I think today, as I say, it all happened. To me, the click between the two Leicester players, Danny Drinkwater and Kante, was excellent. And I think you're going to see much more of what I call the old Fabregas playing. We used to play 2 out of 3 of them, but now he seems to be the player that is the key point of the whole setup they've got now. And I think the way that he's managed off the bench, Antonio, is getting the best out of all these players again. So well done. And thanks. Yeah. And I'm now going to enjoy the rest of the afternoon. I'm looking for Manchester United to lose today, unfortunately.
Yeah, that'll do nicely.
About that.
Nothing unfortunate, however it happens. It is that balance. It does mean that there'll be people at the moment a little bit frustrated. Pedro, Willian.
I wonder as well, you know, we were talking about Bakayoko, whether, you know, the fact that Danny Drinkwater and N'Golo Kante have played, you know, before together, and all of a sudden Danny's now up to strength, up to speed. That link up with those two gives Bakayoko an even bigger problem, you know, because mentally they're switched on together.
Yep.
You know, as we heard from Johnny there, you know, the extra player in midfield is Fabregas, who we want to have space, to have room to play. So it does sort of work, doesn't it? As a 3, it really works, and that sometimes you get that little mental thought between players, and maybe he's right, you know, ex-Leicester players, the two of them in the middle, sort of mentally link up much quicker.
And Fabregas needs, for him to produce the sort of football that he can be the best at, he needs legs around him, and he also needs runners.
He needs this shape,
and he's got all of that. It took a bit of time to warm up today. In a 2, we see it play away at Roma. He gets exposed. There's that, you know, we often talk about Fabregas. I think too many people talk about what Fabregas can't do. We know he's not defensively great. We know he hasn't got a lot of pace. So what you do, you therefore protect that. You make that barrier. Therefore, then you bring out the best in Fabregas. This shape, with Drinkwater or Bakayoko, in particular Drinkwater right now and Kante, and the runners of Hazard and Morata and potentially Drinkwater going to join. This is just, it must be, the shape is suited for Fabregas.
He must be loving it, Clive, because it's just up his street, and therefore he is affecting games constantly. He's able to pass. He's able to do what he does so
dictate.
We've said it so many times, though, with people on the ball need options. and they need options of runners. And what we have at the moment is Morata doing what he does as well. He plays off the shoulder, so he's always running long. You've got Danny Drinkwater joining in. Then Eden Hazard just comes in that little hole, and then Fabregas has then got the choice. Do you go there or do you go in there? And whichever way he goes, it seems to work. And I think that's testament to the guys making that movement, being patient with the ball. Sometimes they do sit deep, teams. So be patient with the ball and wait for that opportunity where one goes long or even two go long and one comes in that massive gap that they create. And that's Eden Hazard. And I think he is absolutely loving this position from
because if teams
the 3-4-3.
If teams sit deep, we have to threaten them behind. I don't think we've done that enough against Swansea. They defended well. But today, Hazard drops in, Clive and I were talking about this earlier, Hazard drops into areas where you sometimes can't see him coming. Or he drops into areas where you don't really want to go. So if Hazard drops in, sometimes he picks the ball up in her own half. And what you want is, in some ways, is the midfield to come out. And all that will do is present space for Danny Drinkwater, Morata, or even the wing-backs. If they start to come narrow, then give space for the wing-backs as well.
And so, as we move on to the other member of this triumvirate that are having so much fun attacking-wise at the moment, Alvaro, Clive, you know, another headed goal for him today, but so many signs of that relationship, that connection between the 9 and the 10 here, him and Hazard. The last month, it's just gone and up and up and up.
I don't think this comes just because it happens. I think this has been worked on the training field. If you look at when Hazard's in the space in the middle of midfield and you spot, if you can watch it at the speed they do it at, Morata actually comes off at a slight angle and we see that little flick round the corner or the one where he turns it that way. He actually knows where he is. He knows if he's got his back to play Hazard and the ball's coming into his feet, he knows whether Morata's that side or that side. That doesn't just happen. That works off the training field for me. I think they put a lot of work into that.
And also Morata knows which side to go as well.
He does, yeah, and
sometimes
it works.
When it's so quick, you can't actually... and wherever the angle of the ball, if the ball comes in here, it has to go that way.
Yeah, what I'm saying is I don't think Eden Hazard at times, because they're bashing the ball in at him, actually knows, or has time to look over his shoulder and suddenly see a blue shirt there. And he knows
eyes in the back of his head, Clive.
Yeah, but that's worked off the train. For me, that's absolutely brilliant, honestly. And every time it happens, of course, what it does for the opposition, it takes away their midfield. Takes away their midfield completely. And all of a sudden, we got runners. And they're
I have to say, it's an absolute joy to watch these
the two of them together.
And you know what? It's only going to get better and better. We've not seen the best of it yet.
We saw signs of it at Bournemouth, and Eden's goal at Bournemouth was Alvaro getting it and turning it and flipping it over the top.
It's only going to get better, folks, that's for sure.
It is, which brings me... Oh, it was going to bring me to Antonio Conte, who's just come out the tunnel. I want to ask him about it. I will do in a minute. Wants to have a chat with Carlo Cudicini. Who can blame him? He's a very handsome man. But yeah, it is a blossoming relationship, and I don't mean Antonio and Carlo. I mean Eden and Alvaro Morata up front. So I'm going to ask him about it right now. Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Last year, Antonio, we found the 3-4-3 after Arsenal. Was it always in your mind to play the 3-5-2 this year? We're just talking about the relationship between Hazard and Morata and how brilliantly it's working already.
Yeah, we are changing something in this season. Yeah, I have this opportunity and to decide game by game the system that is better to play, no? And I think in this season changed a bit the characteristic of our midfielders and with Bakayoko and also with Danny and then Cesc, I think to play with three midfielders is great, no?
He loves it.
Him, yeah, because he has more freedom and then also is very good to in the penetration. But also because Eden can play as a second striker, but as number 10. And I think to rotate two different systems is good. Also because you don't give a lot of point of reference your opponent, because your opponent don't know the way that we are going to prepare the game.
Hazard is more central in this role, and obviously with that he can drop into areas where midfielders don't really want to go, and he can drop quite deep and he can go quite high, but it seems to suit his game more naturally now, being more central.
Yeah, but Eden In this system, I think he has more freedom, no? More freedom, and to move. But at the same time, we try movements and to stay very linked with Morata. But at the same time, sometimes he likes to receive the ball between the line. In this way, I think it's very difficult to try to stop him.
We're seeing a link-up now with Kante and Danny Drinkwater. Obviously, they played at Leicester before. Are we seeing that now more because Danny's now obviously fitter, getting around the park a lot more, and that link-up play they had, or the sort of the mental link-up they have, is that important to us?
Yeah, I think it's very important. It's very important that Kante and Drinkwater play together with in the past, no? In the past. But now I think Danny is finding the best physical condition. Yeah. His start today was like the same like the team, no? A bit slow. But then he improved a lot his performance and he finished very well. Danny. Now he's fit 100%. Don't forget that we have Bakayoko is a young player. He's improving a lot. He's trying to adapt himself in our idea of football. And in the last season with Monaco, he played with more freedom. Now I ask to my players more order, no? More order, specific movements, specific position on the pitch. Yeah, I think it's good. It's good for us to have this opportunity to play with the 3-5-2 with the two strikers, or to 3-4-3, 3-4-2-1 with the two number 10 and one strikers.
It's working, 3-5-2, and hopefully it'll work against Atletico if he chooses it. Good luck, Antonio. Good luck on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully match day 6 of the Champions League will go well. And now, he's been waiting in the wings. He's going to come and have a word with us as well, I think, Eden. Come on, get in here. Come. Right. There he is. Well done.
Well done.
Well played. Again. Oh, ready for the World Cup.
Don't shake that hand too hard.
Right, in June we say boo. Today we say yes. Eden Hazard, we'll cheer you on for now. Well played again. Enjoy that? You look like you're really enjoying your football again.
Yeah, every time I'm on the pitch, I enjoy.
Yeah, but even more, these last few weeks, you're like, bang, bang. You're feeling fit.
Because I'm fully fit, you know.
Yeah, that's it.
No injury, nothing, so I'm just happy to be there.
What about the role that you've got now? It seems like you've got a free role, drop into areas where midfielders don't like to go. On that half turn between the lines, you seem to be finding an awful lot of space.
Yeah, it's different than last season. Last season I was playing more on the left winger, and now with Alvaro we try to have this link together, and then I drop more than him. I can go deep, but we have a good relation on the pitch with Cesc also, with Danny. So we are just happy to play together.
just trying to explain to mere mortals like us now that this link up with Morata, I mean, at times it's like you've got eyes in the back of your head. Do you work a lot on that on training, or is it just the fact that you see him over your shoulder, or because it looks spectacular?
We are working on training because the manager wants us to do tactic, like defensively tactic, but also offensive. So we are trying to find each other every time. I know where he's. We only play together for 2 months, 3 months. Yeah. But he's clever.
But does it make you smile? Because we think it makes you smile. When it happens, when it works, and you spin and turn and get the reverse pass off of him, and it's like it's fun all the time. It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun all the time. Sometimes when you run and you don't have the ball, okay, it's not fun. But when you see the boy get the ball and score, it's good for the team.
You're scoring lots of goals now as well. That part of your game has always been there now, but being more central, you're scoring lots of goals. Is this a feature of your game now, that being that second striker, number 10, or being sometimes advanced, that you really feel it can go on and perhaps even develop even further?
Yeah, I think now I'm more close to the goal, so it's more easy to find the net. I think I shoot more also, because the boys, they want me to shoot, so every time in training they ask me, hey, come on, shoot. Sometimes you pass. I'm happy. I'm scoring goals. We are winning games. So what you want?
Was there not to love?
The penalty. Now, a couple of years ago, you were taking them like that, and then I think, was it Maribor or somewhere, they saved it, and then maybe you changed because a keeper had started to notice you were doing it, so you started doing it. Are you now going back to the dinks, the Panenkas?
No.
Or was that just a decision you made immediately?
I miss a couple of, I think 2 years ago. I missed one last year against Man City, against Willy Caballero.
Yes.
But I think now the goalkeeper, they know me, so I need to change something. They are waiting for me. But for today, I just, in my head was, instinct. I say, I do this. I do the panenka in the middle. If the goalkeeper don't move, I'm in trouble. But
and you look stupid.
Yeah, but I look stupid. But was good.
Is this the best form of your life right now?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I will see at the end of the season. But yeah, I'm happy. We are playing good. We are scoring goals. So yeah, maybe.
Just finally, before we let you go, Belgium, England, next June. Courtois.
It's going to be fun.
Cahill. Yeah. Have you talked about it with Danny, with Gary Cahill, a bit with Michi?
Yes. I spoke with the skipper yesterday. Yeah, of course, it's good for both teams because we have a lot of players that in Belgium they play in England in Premier League. But we played the last game. I think we play first Panama and then Tunisia.
Yes,
so
it's going to be the final game. Yeah,
so
a draw.
Just a draw. Nice and easy. Everyone go through.
A draw can be good.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. Well, thanks for joining us. Good luck on Tuesday.
My pleasure,
what have you done to your
boys.
hand? What have you done?
Nothing. For the
style.
For the style.
Gary Lineker, 1986. Speaking of World Cups, with a wonderful hat trick. That was the third game England went through against Poland. There's your manager. There's your man of the match. Watford 1-up over Tottenham.
Okay.
Excellent news.
Just looking at him. Clive asked the question.
Sorry, who's him?
Oh, Mr. Hazard.
Oh, Ed, right,
He asked the question, and you can see on his face, and we see it on the pitch. Wow, he is loving life at the moment, isn't he? You really get that sense.
Look out, world!
It's nice, isn't it? It's a nice feeling, I think when you see players with that. Well, he's almost. I was also almost implying that he was doing it while he's playing. I mean,
no, you're right. You're absolutely right.
No, I know what you mean.
Do you know what I mean? It's like while he's going through the actions.
Because we have seen spells here where he hasn't had quite the spring in his step, and we've seen spells where he has.
Everybody smiles when they're scoring goals, obviously, but he's actually doing it before it gets there. It's like he knows it's coming.
100% right.
It's a smashing, obviously a smashing feeling. I mean, look at the smile on the guy's face. Brilliant.
Basically, watch out, everybody, including England. Maybe we can sort something out. Have a quiet word come late June. So who else do we want to talk about? We talked about Moses. Drinkwater looked excellent. Morata and Hazard we like. Fabregas was great. Christensen again.
I mean, the first
he got beaten by Dwight Gale for a header.
The first thing he did was kick the ball out of play. And you say that, and I just made the point that against Swansea.
The Renato Sanchez pass.
100% pass completion rate against Swansea. I just made that point, and literally throw in, and he boots it out of play, and it's like. But again, after I mean, he just is. It's effortless for him, and that run that he made from deep, which carried us right into their final third. You don't even worry about him, and in that position, that's a key position in this shape to get absolutely right. Now, David has been in that position, and there've been one or two times where we've had a few heart attacks, one or two times where we felt, he's made a mistake, and the goal has come from. Christensen at the moment hasn't put a foot wrong. He has been magnificent.
So Atletico on Tuesday, winning the group is what it's all about. And then next weekend is West Ham as an early kick-off, Clive. I think he probably won't mix it up too much, will he, for Atletico? Obviously, they're kind of out of the picture pretty much in terms
Well, they've got to win, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, to get any chance.
To get any hope, yeah. But will he change it?
Because I think this is his A team right now. You could make a case for Rudiger and Cahill. And
I was just going to say Cahill at the back. I think actually bringing that up, and I discussed this just before the game with Matt, that, there was Tony Rudiger playing left side today, taking Gary Cahill's place. And again, we've got to look at the awkwardness of being a right-sided player playing on the left. And is that easier for Azpilicueta to be drawn over to the left-hand side and play Rudiger on the right today? But he kept it the same, Antonio. And I said to him at the time, I think it's because Azpilicueta is that extra player in midfield when we switch play, and he delivers. And how many assists has he had today? Did it again today.
Yeah, did it again.
Kept arriving in that area, didn't he?
And that's, you can't move him because you're taking that attacking sense away from him, where we know he's in there as a defender. So, you know, it's going well. But there is an argument for maybe Gary Cahill and Rudiger for Tuesday night.
Atletico's last defeat was from ahead against Chelsea. In fact, that was the previous match that Chelsea had conceded the first goal in but ended up winning. So, yeah, that was Griezmann, wasn't it? Penalty just before half-time.
That's right.
And, yeah, so that's next. They aren't quite as scary as they have been just briefly.
They're not quite as scary. I think we also have to remember, though, Simeone is still an incredibly tactically minded, brilliant manager. And, you know, he will have a plan to come here. I don't quite know how the dynamics of the group work. Can someone just tell me how it would...
Basically, Atletico have to win to have a chance. It's out of Chelsea and Roma for top spot, but it is time for us to leave. Simeone couldn't work it out against Karabakh, thankfully, and that's why it is how it is, and it could have been a lot harder. We all thought it would be the tight one. Do join us for Match Night Live, but the game in full from today is on tomorrow from 6. Match Night Live, 6:30 on Tuesday night with Gigi and a whole host of stars. From the bridge, it's goodbye.